This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and I must warn you, what I am about to describe may sound like fiction, but I assure you, it is very real. Look up, if you can, and behold the skies above you. They are on fire, not with flames, not with smoke, but with light, color, and energy that defies explanation. Auroras are stretching far beyond the polar regions, creeping over cities, mountains, oceans, and deserts alike, in ways that should not be possible. I have never seen the world bathed in shades like this. Greens that shimmer like liquid glass, purples that twist like smoke in a phantom wind, golds that flash and ripple across the horizon in impossible geometries. It is as if the atmosphere itself has become a canvas, and some unseen hand is painting across it with a brush of energy. The lights shift hourly, sometimes even faster, flowing and curling like ribbons caught in a cosmic wind, pulsing in a rhythm that feels deliberate, almost sentient. And this is not simply a spectacle for our eyes alone. Our satellites, our instruments, our most precise sensors are all detecting something that we cannot fully understand. Solar activity is elevated, yes, but even taking that into account, the patterns we are witnessing are impossible to reconcile with any known natural phenomena. The Earth's magnetic field is bending, fluctuating, warping in ways that make physicists stumble over their equations and models. It is as if the planet itself is responding to something we cannot see, something arriving from the void beyond our comprehension. Across the globe, people are stopping, staring, craning their necks and raising their cameras, smartphones, and telescopes to the sky. In Tokyo, crowds gather on the streets and rooftops, faces illuminated by colors that feel almost alive. In Sao Paulo, hundreds stand by the riverbanks, mouths open, eyes reflecting streaks of impossible light. From Paris to Cape Town, from the deserts of North Africa to the icy plains of Siberia, citizens are united in awe and fear. Scientists are appearing on screens, their faces pale under the glow of monitors, scrambling to make sense of the chaos. Our models are failing, one astrophysicist admits. This isn't just auroras. The field lines are bending, twisting, as if under intelligent control. The atmosphere itself seems aware. I have never heard such hesitation in the voice of a scientist, and yet it is clear. No one knows what we are looking at. It is light and energy, yes, but it is also something else, something alive. And there is more than just color. Listen carefully, because if you stand still and quiet, you can feel it. The faint hum that rises and falls through the ground, through the air, through your very bones. It is subtle at first, barely perceptible, like a distant engine or a heartbeat from deep below. Then it grows, swelling into a rhythm that seems to synchronize with the auroras above. Sometimes it resonates in your chest, sometimes it vibrates your teeth. It is as if the earth itself is alive and breathing, responding to the presence in the heavens, a dialogue we cannot yet understand but are forced to witness. I cannot say whether it is sending a warning, a greeting, or merely expressing itself, but it is real, and it is powerful, and it is all around us. And everywhere there is wonder and fear mingled together. Children stare with wide eyes at skies they have never been taught could exist. Adults drop their tasks, cameras dangling from their hands, mouths open in disbelief. Social media is aflame with images, videos, posts trying to capture something that cannot truly be captured. Yet even as the world watches, even as experts analyze and theorize, no one can claim to understand what is happening. It is more than a natural event. It is a statement. Something is here, something that has altered our skies, our planet, our sense of reality. And though we are terrified, though we are confused, there is a strange sense of awe, a recognition that we are witnessing something historic, something monumental, something that will be spoken of for generations yet unborn. So I ask you now, wherever you are, wherever you can look, stop and watch. Look up and take in the impossible. These skies are not merely changed, they are speaking. They are alive. The auroras pulse and twist in patterns that feel deliberate, intelligent, purposeful. The magnetic field shudders and bends. The hum grows in resonance with the light. And somewhere in the distance, beyond the reach of our eyes, I believe something watches us back. Humanity is seeing the sky transformed, and in that transformation, we are being reminded of our place in the universe, fragile and small, yet alive to witness the grandeur of something far greater than ourselves. This is a moment that will be remembered, a moment when the heavens opened in ways we never imagined, and a message, though we cannot yet read it, was sent across the stars to all of us below. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and if you thought the skies were a spectacle, turn your attention now to the oceans. The tides are no longer predictable. They no longer follow the rhythms we have known for centuries. Along coastlines from New York to Mumbai, from Sydney to Cape Town, water levels are surging unexpectedly, rising in minutes where there should be calm. Reports are coming in of streets flooded without warning, of harbor walls overwhelmed by waves that appear to arrive in deliberate, rolling patterns. Even inland, rivers and lakes are behaving strangely, their levels shifting as groundwater seems to respond to invisible forces. Scientists are baffled. Oceanographers I've spoken with describe what they're seeing as unprecedented, almost surgical in its precision, as though the oceans themselves have become a living organism, moving in synchronized choreography dictated by some unseen hand. The gravitational effects we are detecting cannot be explained by the moon or sun alone. They are too localized, too deliberate. From live feeds along the Pacific coast, I am seeing footage of waves rolling in perfect harmony with one another, each crest and trough aligned as though measured by an invisible ruler. In London, the Thames shows ripples forming concentric patterns, pulsing outward in perfect timing. In Tokyo, harbors record sudden surges, waves slamming against docks and piers without storm clouds in the sky. And everywhere the water seems to hum faintly, vibrating in resonance with the light in the skies above. Oceanographers are speaking to me with a mixture of awe and fear, calling the phenomena extraordinary and almost impossible. One expert, Dr. Lian Chen, put it bluntly: "The ocean is moving as though it has intelligence. I've studied tides for 30 years, and I've never seen anything like this. Every wave, every surge seems intentional. Citizens are watching in equal parts wonder and alarm. Coastal streets are littered with people who cannot look away, phones and cameras raised to capture the impossible movement of water. Boats are stranded, small docks are inundated, and yet there is a pattern to the chaos, a logic we cannot comprehend. It is as if the oceans are alive, performing a ritual choreographed across the globe. The resonance from above, from the auroras, seems to echo through the oceans themselves, linking sky and sea in a grand, synchronized display. The earth, it seems, is waking, responding to forces beyond our comprehension, and humanity is caught in the middle, watching as land, sea and sky perform a symphony of motion that is at once beautiful and terrifying. So I ask you, wherever you are, take a moment to look at the water around you. Watch the waves, the rivers, the lakes, and see how they respond. Even if you are inland, even if you are far from the shore, the Earth's waters are moving in ways we have never imagined. And for those of us who can see, who can measure, who can try to make sense of it all, one thing is clear. Something extraordinary has arrived, and the planet itself is bending, moving, and living in response. We are witnessing history in motion, a reminder that our world is alive, fragile, and connected in ways we have only just begun to perceive. The winds are proving even more unpredictable and unsettling. Across the globe, weather patterns have begun to behave in ways that defy all historical records and scientific expectation. Hurricanes are forming in regions that have never seen such storms. Calm, sunny skies in the tropics are suddenly punctuated by gusts so fierce they bend trees and rattle windows, as though the atmosphere itself has awakened. From the Caribbean to the Mediterranean, from Southeast Asia to the plains of North America, wind patterns are shifting abruptly, violently, in ways that cannot be attributed to ordinary meteorology. Weather satellites show entire jet streams bending and twisting, forming spirals and eddies that appear almost purposeful, moving in ways that make climatologists' models collapse under their own complexity. I've spoken with meteorologists and atmospheric scientists who are struggling to describe what they're witnessing. Dr. Elena Torres in Madrid told me, "It's as if the atmosphere is aware. The wind isn't just moving, it's responding, as though it has intelligence. We see sudden gusts following no logical path, storms forming and dissipating without warning, and currents in the upper atmosphere that seem to trace invisible lines toward something in the sky. Across radio channels and emergency networks, storm watches and evacuation alerts are being issued with unprecedented urgency. Coastal towns are on high alert. Inland regions are experiencing sudden sandstorms and dust whirlwinds, and pilots are being rerouted as high-altitude winds shift without warning. Everywhere, humanity is grappling with the realization that the very air above us is alive in a way we do not understand, responding to forces we cannot see. And it is not merely destructive, it is almost musical in its rhythm. Stand outside and listen. The sudden gusts, the low hum in the upper atmosphere, the way winds whip across treetops and open fields, all seem to pulse in harmony with the auroras above and the surging oceans below. Scientists speculate that these forces are linked, that the sky, the sea, and the wind are responding together, in concert, to the arrival of something beyond Earth. Nature itself feels choreographed, a living entity moving to a cosmic rhythm, a heartbeat gone alien. And yet, in the chaos, there is awe. People around the world are looking skyward, feeling the air whip past them, hearing the sighs and whispers of a planet they thought they knew, realizing that the rules have changed. So I urge you, listeners, to pay attention to the winds around you, to feel them as they move. Notice how they rise and fall without reason, how storms appear where none should, how the air carries a strange energy you cannot see but can feel. Humanity is witnessing a phenomenon that challenges everything we thought we knew about the natural world. The winds are alive, responding to an unseen presence in our skies, and in doing so, they are reminding us that the Earth itself is awake, and that we are, for the first time, listening to its voice in harmony with the cosmos. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and the chaos is now reaching a level that even the most seasoned scientists are struggling to comprehend. Across the planet, compasses are spinning with wild abandon, instruments failing to find true north, leaving sailors, explorers, and even casual hikers disoriented. Aviation authorities are reporting mass rerouting of commercial flights as onboard navigation systems falter. Autopilot disengages unexpectedly, and pilots are forced to rely on manual adjustments that once seemed mundane but now feel perilously inadequate. Satellites, reliant on geomagnetic calibration, are reporting anomalies, and the ripple effect is felt in communications, GPS, and even banking systems reliant on timing signals. The very forces that have guided life on Earth for millennia, the magnetic field, the invisible hand that shields us from cosmic radiation and directs migratory species, are fluctuating unpredictably, twisting and bending in ways that defy logic, that challenge the very laws of physics as we understand them. And it is not only technology that is affected. Millions of birds are suddenly veering off course, their migratory instincts thrown into confusion by the erratic geomagnetic signals. Flocks that should be heading south for the winter are circling endlessly, caught in invisible loops. Whales, too, are changing their underwater routes, confused by currents and magnetic anomalies, leaving scientists frantically attempting to track patterns that no longer seem to exist. Even insects are affected, bees losing orientation as they navigate with the same forces that now tremble and twist across the planet. Biologists describe the phenomenon as a surreal dance of life responding to an invisible conductor, yet one that no one can see or understand. There is an unnerving precision in the chaos, almost as if the planet itself has been reprogrammed, nudged, and shifted by something beyond our comprehension. And as I speak to you, reports flood in from cities and towns worldwide. People noticing compasses spinning on tables in offices, watches glitching, drones falling from the sky because their sensors can no longer orient properly. Ships drift off course, and fishermen speak of the water itself seeming confused, waves and currents shifting unexpectedly, as though guided by the same invisible hand influencing the magnetic field. Scientists are scrambling to model the changes, but every simulation fails. Every predictive algorithm collapses in the face of a force that seems intelligent, deliberate, and impossible to resist. There is fear, yes, but there is also awe, an awareness that our world, the very ground beneath our feet, is alive in a way we had never before imagined. Humanity is learning, slowly and uncomfortably, that the invisible compass of the Earth, the force that has guided life for eons, is no longer reliable. It bends, it twists, it pulses, and in its madness, it reminds us that we are not masters of this planet, only temporary witnesses to a power far greater than ourselves. So I ask you, wherever you are listening, take a moment to feel the world around you. Notice how birds fly differently, how electronics behave unpredictably, how the very forces that govern our planet's natural order are trembling. The Earth's magnetic field is alive, erratic, responding to something beyond our comprehension, and it is speaking in a language we are only beginning to perceive. We are living through a moment where nature itself dances to a cosmic rhythm, where the rules we have relied on are being rewritten before our eyes, and where humanity must simply watch and survive, while the invisible currents of the world are thrown into magnetic madness. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and if you thought the skies, the oceans, and the winds were enough to make the world feel alive, The Earth itself is now responding from deep within. Volcanic activity around the globe has spiked in a way that has never been recorded. Magma chambers, once stable for centuries, are responding to forces we can barely measure, shifting and pulsing as if the planet itself has become a living organism, its veins coursing with molten blood. Eruptions are occurring in clusters, seemingly random to us, yet there is a strange order to them. Most are minor, plumes of smoke and ash twisting into the sky rather than violent explosions. But the frequency is alarming, with alerts issued simultaneously from volcanoes in Indonesia, the Pacific Northwest, the Mediterranean, and the Andes. The smoke itself moves unnaturally, bending and curling in ways that echo the auroras above, reflecting light from the sky in impossible patterns. It is as though the Earth is drawing energy from the alien presence in orbit and translating it into movement from its very core. I have spoken with volcanologists who are struggling to explain what they are seeing. Dr. Mateo Alvarez in Quito told me, "We have instruments tracking magma chamber activity every day, but these shifts, they do not match any seismic patterns we have recorded. The ground is pulsing, the magma is flowing in patterns that suggest intention, almost as if the planet itself is breathing. And when I say breathing, I mean it literally. Some of the minor eruptions are synchronized across thousands of miles, smoke plumes rising, bending, and twisting in concert with one another, reflecting a planetary rhythm that we cannot yet decode. In Hawaii, lava flows creep across terrain in a silent, hypnotic wave, the glow of molten rock illuminating the night sky as auroral colors dance above, creating a spectacle that is simultaneously beautiful and terrifying. Citizens near active volcanic zones are witnessing a world transformed. Streets are veiled in ash that swirls in unnatural spirals. Cities smell of sulfur and heat, and emergency alerts flash continuously as authorities monitor dozens of volcanoes simultaneously. Yet even amid the fear, there is awe. Across the planet, scientists, reporters, and everyday people are realizing that this is not chaos in the traditional sense. This is a response, a message written in magma and smoke, in fire and ash, from the Earth itself. It is a reminder that our planet is not a passive backdrop to human life. It is alive, reactive, and capable of movements that dwarf our technology and imagination. So, wherever you are listening, if you feel the ground tremble beneath your feet, if you see smoke curling into skies already colored with auroras, know this: the Earth is speaking in fire. Its response is subtle, yet undeniable, and it is tied to forces beyond our comprehension. Humanity is witnessing a planet alive in ways we never thought possible, a living world that reacts to the presence of something alien in orbit, that translates the invisible forces above into motion from within. These eruptions, these twisting plumes, are not random. They are a pulse, a heartbeat, a reminder that Earth is a living entity, and for the first time in history, we are hearing it speak in flames. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and the spectacle above is escalating in ways that defy every natural law we have known. Lightning storms are surging across the globe with unprecedented frequency and intensity. They are no longer confined to traditional storm belts or seasonal patterns. Deserts that have gone decades without a single strike are now illuminated by jagged bolts of pure electric light. Across North Africa, the Middle East, and the Australian outback, the skies are fracturing, cracking with energy that dances in synchronization with the auroras above, with the ocean's strange movements, and with the erratic living winds. It is as if the very atmosphere has been tuned to a cosmic instrument, vibrating with a resonance we cannot fully perceive, responding to something unseen in orbit, something that bends the rules of nature itself. And it is not only visible, it is audible. People report hearing distant hums, low harmonic vibrations that rise and fall with each electric flash, a subtle, eerie symphony accompanying the raw violence and beauty above. Meteorologists and atmospheric scientists are scrambling to explain what they are witnessing. Dr. Kaori Nakamura, speaking from Tokyo, admitted that conventional explanations fail. "We are seeing harmonic alignment across global electrical activity," she said, her voice tight with disbelief. "The lightning, the upper atmosphere currents, even the ionosphere itself, all of it is behaving as if it has awareness, responding in concert with the objects in space. This is not random. It is communication. It is dialogue." And indeed, when you watch the sky, you cannot help but feel that this is true. Each strike of lightning seems purposeful, illuminating the clouds and air in patterns that echo the auroras, cascading in waves that reach far beyond what should be physically possible. The clouds themselves twist and pulse, reflecting light in harmonic sequences, creating visual patterns that seem deliberate, almost musical. For those who can see and hear it, it is nothing short of hypnotic, terrifying, and awe-inspiring. Citizens around the world are reporting phenomena that border on the surreal. In the deserts of Arizona, families stand frozen as jagged streaks of lightning carve the sky above, accompanied by that low, vibrating hum that seems to resonate in their chests. In the Scottish Highlands, shepherds describe seeing bolts that split clouds in slow motion, arcs of electricity bending as if alive, illuminating the rolling fog in unnatural colors. Across every continent, sky watchers and photographers capture flashes that do not behave like ordinary lightning, jagged arcs that linger, sparks that jump horizontally across miles of air, bursts that split the sky into fractal patterns. Social media is flooded with images and videos, each one more unbelievable than the last, yet all verified by multiple observers. It is as if the Earth itself, responding to the alien objects above, has become a cosmic instrument, its atmosphere conducting a symphony that humanity has never before experienced. So I ask you, wherever you are listening, to take a moment and truly listen. Listen to the hum, watch the lightning dance, and feel the air crackle around you. This is not ordinary weather. The storms are alive, in dialogue with the stars, echoing the rhythms of auroras, the surges of the oceans, and the whispers of the wind. Humanity is witnessing a planet responding to a presence that we cannot see, a force that bends the natural world in ways that challenge every assumption we have about reality. These fractured skies are more than spectacle. They are message. They are music. They are evidence that the Earth is awake, alive, and speaking in ways that we are only just beginning to comprehend. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and I must ask you to pause for a moment, to listen, not to the wind, not to the rain, not to the hum of our cities, but to the absence of sound. Across the globe, a silence has fallen that is more profound than any storm we have witnessed in recent memory. Birdsong has vanished entirely. The forests, the fields, even the backyards of our cities are eerily still. Animals that once moved and thrived in rhythm with the world now behave erratically, as though sensing a presence far beyond our comprehension. Deer and elk stand frozen in open fields, Insects crawl or fly in odd, uncertain patterns, and even domesticated pets hesitate, ears twitching, eyes following something invisible. Marine life, too, seems to respond, with whales pausing mid-song and schools of fish scattering in unusual formations. It is a planetary hush, a pause, and scientists are beginning to wonder if the Earth itself is holding its breath. Across research stations and laboratories worldwide, biologists, ecologists, and animal behaviorists are reporting unprecedented phenomena. Dr. Anika Ramesh in Cape Town told me, "We are seeing behavior that suggests anticipation, almost reverence. Entire populations of birds, mammals, and insects are acting as if the planet itself has slowed down, waiting for something." Zoologists in the Arctic report that entire flocks of migratory birds have halted in mid-flight, hovering for hours, seemingly unable to continue until whatever influence above passes or commands them onward. Even insects that should be buzzing in summer heat have quieted, moving in hesitant, jerky motions, as though the rhythm of life itself has been disrupted. It is an unnatural stillness that carries weight, a silence so heavy that it is almost audible, pressing on the minds of those who notice it. And it is not only the animals that feel this hush. Humans, too, cannot escape it. Cities feel muted, streets quieter, the usual hum of activity subdued. People report an unease that is difficult to articulate, a creeping awareness that something vast and incomprehensible lingers above, watching, waiting, orchestrating. Even in crowded squares and open plazas, the collective instinct seems to respond to the same force, an invisible hand that has slowed the world down in preparation for an arrival we do not yet fully understand. The silence is profound, oppressive, and yet strangely reverent, as though the Earth itself is acknowledging the presence of the objects in orbit and pausing in their honor or in their fear. So I ask you, listeners, wherever you are, to feel this stillness. Close your eyes if you must, and let the absence of sound settle over you. Notice how even the smallest life forms, from birds to insects to the creatures in the ocean depths, have ceased their normal rhythms. The Earth itself seems suspended, holding a breath that it has never held before. This silence, more profound than any storm, more unsettling than any quake or lightning strike, is a signal. It is a reminder that our world is alive, aware, and reacting in ways we have never imagined. We are witnessing a planet in pause, a living world attuned to a presence beyond our understanding, and for the first time, humanity is learning what it feels like to be truly quiet under the gaze of the cosmos. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and tonight, I am speaking to you from a world that has been suspended in a state of collective awe and fear unlike anything we have ever seen. Across every continent, humanity is watching and waiting, struggling to make sense of a planet that is alive in ways we cannot fully comprehend. Air travel has been restricted as pilots report that autopilot systems are failing intermittently, compasses and navigation instruments spinning with the same erratic behavior that has gripped the Earth's magnetic field. Flights are being delayed, diverted, or outright canceled, leaving travelers stranded and anxious in airports worldwide. Airports themselves, usually a place of routine and order, are now filled with a tension that is almost palpable. Lines of passengers frozen in uncertainty, gazes fixed on the skies, scanning for the impossible auroras and the strange hum that now seems to pulse across the planet. Agriculture, too, is struggling. Crops in Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas are behaving unpredictably, responding to shifts in tides, winds, and atmospheric conditions that no one can explain. Some fields are flooded by unexpected surges of water from rivers and groundwater swelling in response to gravitational anomalies, while others are scorched by winds that whip across previously calm lands. Farmers and scientists alike are scrambling to assess the damage, but the patterns are irregular, as though the planet itself is performing an experiment, testing us, reminding us of our fragility. Markets are reacting too. Commodity prices fluctuate wildly as reports of crop failures, unusual weather, and unpredictable tides ripple through global economies. Panic and awe coexist, tangled together, a human response to forces far greater than ourselves. Yet the fear is tempered by fascination. Across the globe, people are tuning in to live feeds, scanning social media, and listening to broadcasts like this one, trying to connect, to understand, to find a foothold in reality while the world bends and shifts around them. Communication networks, disrupted at first by magnetic fluctuations and atmospheric interference, have begun picking up patterns that are extraordinary. Some researchers report signals that seem synchronized with the resonance we detect from the alien objects themselves. Electromagnetic pulses, radio waves, faint rhythmic signals that defy explanation. They are not noise, they are structured, patterned, deliberate. Across laboratories from Geneva to Tokyo, scientists are analyzing the signals, noting that they appear coordinated across multiple frequencies and continents simultaneously. Some suggest it is a form of communication, perhaps an attempt by these objects to interact with humanity, to teach us, warn us, or guide us. Others remain skeptical, fearful that the signals could be influencing minds or electronics in ways we cannot yet measure. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens are feeling the impact in ways that are both subtle and profound. In city streets, people stop mid-conversation to glance upward, drawn by the impossible auroras, the twisting clouds, the strange movements of the ocean. Children point skyward, unaware of the danger, mesmerized by the beauty. Office workers abandon their desks to peer out windows. Commuters halt on highways, and even emergency responders pause, uncertain whether to act or simply witness. Across the deserts of Arizona, the plains of Europe, the mountains of Nepal, and the coasts of Africa, humanity is unified in a rare, fragile way. All of us are looking up. All of us are listening. All of us are aware of a presence beyond our comprehension. The shared experience is unlike anything else in history. I have spoken with scientists, and their words carry the weight of disbelief tempered by rigorous observation. Dr. Emilio Vargas in Lima describes the world as being on pause and in motion at the same time. The oceans surge, the winds howl, lightning dances, and yet there is a strange synchrony. It is as though the planet is alive, reacting not to us, but to something else, something we cannot see. And in that response, we, humanity, are included in its awareness. Officials from national meteorological agencies echo the same concerns, noting that emergency protocols are being tested in ways never anticipated, that natural disasters are being triggered not by chance, but by the resonance of forces far above our atmosphere. Some governments have issued travel advisories, restricted access to coastal regions, and deployed military assets to monitor, but not interfere with, the celestial objects. They acknowledge openly that conventional tools of defense or prediction are meaningless against forces that operate on scales we cannot yet grasp. Citizens themselves are caught between fear and wonder. In Japan, Families watch the auroras from balcony rooftops, amazed as they ripple over cities like liquid fire. In Kenya, herders report seeing the oceans churn miles inland, waves moving in patterns that defy explanation, yet avoiding human settlements almost purposefully. In Canada, hikers stop on mountain trails, listening to the distant hum of the atmosphere, describing a sensation that is part physical, part psychic, an almost imperceptible vibration that resonates in the chest and head. People around the world are sharing these experiences in real time through social media, news networks, and live broadcasts like this one. What is terrifying is also beautiful. What is unnatural is also mesmerizing. Humanity is learning, in a visceral way, how small we are, how fragile, and yet how capable of wonder we remain. Even as we watch, there is an undercurrent of anxiety that cannot be ignored. Some citizens panic, hoarding supplies, canceling flights, fleeing coastal regions in anticipation of waves that may or may not come. Others are immobilized by indecision, trapped between instinct to act and the spellbinding awe of what they see in the skies. Hospitals report an increase in stress-related illnesses. Emergency lines are overloaded, and psychologists caution that prolonged exposure to the spectacle is taking a toll on mental health. And yet, despite the fear, there is a profound recognition that humanity is witnessing something unique, the convergence of nature, cosmos, and a presence beyond our world. It is a shared moment, global in scope, that may never be repeated, a reminder that we are alive on a planet that is both fragile and magnificent, and that the universe is vast in ways we cannot yet comprehend. As I speak to you now, there is a tangible sense that the world has shifted. Cities may be quiet at times, yet the streets are filled with eyes turned skyward. Scientists work frantically to decode signals, analyze atmospheric changes, and predict tides that no longer behave naturally. Emergency services coordinate worldwide, trying to mitigate the unpredictable consequences of storms, waves, and winds. And yet the hum, the auroras, the resonance in the oceans and the sky continue unabated, reminding us that there is a rhythm to this chaos, a pattern that is deliberate, and alive. Humanity watches, trapped between fear and awe, trying to understand our place in a world that is more alive than we have ever imagined. So wherever you are listening, take a moment to feel it. Look around you, listen to the subtle vibrations, watch the skies, and notice the world in motion and at pause all at once. Humanity is witnessing a planet transformed by forces beyond our comprehension, a world reacting to presences above us that we cannot see, and signals pulsing through the very fabric of our lives. It is terrifying, yes, but it is also magnificent, and it is real. And for the first time in history, the entirety of humanity is united in shared attention, a global audience to a phenomenon that is as incomprehensible as it is beautiful. We are not spectators alone. We are participants, alive in a world that has awakened around us, suspended between fear and wonder, holding our collective breath as the universe speaks through skies, seas, winds, and now through us. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and I can barely find the words to describe what is happening right now. The Leviathan, the colossal crescent-shaped ship we've only just begun to comprehend, has made its presence undeniably known. For hours we have watched the skies, listened to the hum that vibrates through the air, felt the tremors in the oceans and the subtle shifts in wind and field. And now, Now something extraordinary is unfolding. A shimmering pulse, radiant and impossible to describe with ordinary words, has emanated from the Leviathan itself, spreading outward like the ripple of a stone dropped into the vastest ocean. And what it has done is nothing short of miraculous. Earth, our fragile blue planet, is being encased in a protective field. A shield of energy, vast, encompassing, and breathtaking in its complexity, now surrounds us, unseen yet undeniably present. Scientists are scrambling to understand what they are witnessing. Satellites and instruments record waves of energy unlike anything humanity has ever seen. Dr. Lena Hartfield, speaking from the European Space Agency, is visibly shaken as she explains, "We've never recorded anything that even remotely resembles this. The pulse appears to be structured, intelligent. It is interacting with the planet's magnetic field, its atmosphere, even the ionosphere itself, in ways we cannot model. This is not just technology. It is something that defies our understanding of physics." Across the globe in Tokyo, Rio, Nairobi, and New York, observatories are filled with astonished scientists pointing to screens displaying radiant, shifting patterns surrounding the planet. Every detection, every measurement, confirms the same thing. Earth is now shielded. Meteors, space debris, fragments of each asteroids that would otherwise have impacted the planet are being deflected, their trajectories altered with precision and silence. It is as though an invisible hand has risen, sweeping away danger before it can reach us. And the people, oh, the people, are watching in disbelief. From the beaches of California to the rooftops of Paris, citizens gaze upward as the hum intensifies, the pulse growing in resonance with the auroras above, the surging oceans, the winds that twist and howl. There is a feeling in the air unlike anything we have ever experienced. Awe tempered with relief, fear tempered with wonder. Children point to the sky, mouths open, eyes reflecting the faint shimmer that washes over the night. Families clutch one another, sharing this moment that feels simultaneously terrifying and miraculous. Social media is ablaze with videos and images, each one showing a globe encased in something luminous, radiant, protective, while scientists and citizens alike struggle to comprehend what this means for humanity. Military and government agencies, who have been watching the skies with trepidation, are scrambling to adjust to the new reality. All defenses and missile systems, once calibrated for potential threats, are rendered irrelevant. Nothing can breach this shield, it seems. And even the most advanced orbital sensors detect only the subtle shimmer of energy bending around the planet, deflecting incoming objects before they can reach Earth. Dr. Hartfield emphasizes, this isn't just protection, it is intelligent, adaptive. The shield responds to each object individually, redirecting, dispersing, neutralizing potential harm. The planet is being safeguarded in real time by forces far beyond our understanding. And yet it is not violence that we witness. There is no flash of destruction, no catastrophic explosion. Instead, there is elegance, there is precision. Meteors that once would have torn through our atmosphere disintegrate in invisible arcs, vaporized or deflected as though by an unseen hand. Satellites that might have been impacted adjust their paths without incident. Even the most hardened scientists, engineers, and astronomers are struggling to find words to describe the scale, the intelligence, and the purpose of what they are seeing. This is not attack or conquest. This is intervention. This is guardianship. Across the globe, Communities are responding in ways both practical and emotional. Emergency services pause, recognizing that immediate dangers from space debris and meteors have been neutralized. Fishermen and sailors report calmer seas, while the oceans, previously surging in chaotic patterns, appear to settle beneath the protective resonance of the shield. Pilots report navigation systems stabilizing in ways that they cannot explain. Even animals, previously disoriented and anxious, begin to return to their natural behaviors, as if sensing that the threat from above has been removed. Across every continent, people feel it, whether they understand it or not. The Leviathan, this incomprehensibly vast and alien presence, is now standing between humanity and catastrophe, and the hum that has accompanied this arrival from the beginning, intensifies, pulsing through the air and ground like the heartbeat of the planet itself. It is harmonic, resonant, musical even, a sound that we can feel as much as hear. The auroras respond, pulsing in tandem with the shield's energy, reflecting across skies from horizon to horizon. The oceans ripple with the pulse, waves synchronizing with invisible rhythms that defy human measurement. The winds carry the faint vibration, rustling leaves, bending grasses, whispering through cities and plains alike. The earth itself feels alive, more alive than it has ever been, as though it recognizes the Leviathan's protection and responds in gratitude, in resonance, in recognition. I can barely contain the awe I feel as I relay this live. Listeners, I want you to understand. The objects we feared, yes, the Leviathan and its companion asteroid, are protecting us. Humanity has witnessed a threat, prepared for disaster, and yet, in a turn of events that defies all expectation, those very forces have become our safeguard. A planetary shield has descended, intelligent and adaptive, standing between Earth and the chaos of the universe beyond. And as we watch, as we listen, as we record this moment for history, one thing becomes clear. The universe is far vaster and stranger than we ever imagined, and our survival has, for the first time, been ensured by a presence entirely beyond our comprehension. So I ask you, wherever you are listening, to take a deep breath and look around. Feel the pulse of the planet beneath your feet, the wind across your skin, the waves in the oceans, the resonance in the sky. Humanity is alive, witnessing something miraculous, something that has changed our relationship with the cosmos forever. The Leviathan has made its presence known, not through destruction, not through fear, but through protection, through guardianship. And tonight, we are reminded in real time that we are not alone, and that the universe contains forces capable of both wonder and salvation beyond anything we could have imagined. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live. And if you thought what we witnessed with the shielding wave was extraordinary, brace yourselves, because what is happening now defies every expectation of reality. A massive cluster of asteroids, remnants of earlier celestial chaos, has been detected on a collision course with Earth. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of rocky bodies, ranging from small meteors to massive boulders, are hurtling toward our planet at unimaginable speeds. Observatories worldwide scrambled to track them, and for a terrifying moment, humanity stared into the abyss, anticipating impact, destruction, chaos. Yet, for the first time since this alien presence revealed itself, fear begins to mingle with a strange, fragile hope, because the Leviathan has acted, and it is showing us the full scope of its power. From orbital observation satellites to ground-based telescopes, every camera and instrument captures a phenomenon unlike anything humanity has ever seen. Beams of radiant, focused energy emanate from the Leviathan, stretching into space in precise, shimmering arcs. They strike the incoming asteroids with pinpoint accuracy, not a single one missed. And the effects are astonishing. The rocks fragment instantly, vaporizing into dust and plasma that glows faintly in the void, scattering harmlessly into space. There is no thunder, no shockwave, no destructive fire raining down upon Earth. The explosions are silent, surgical, perfectly controlled. The planet itself remains untouched, unscathed, while the sky above becomes a theater of cosmic salvation. The Leviathan is not merely defending Earth. It is performing a calculated, precise orchestration, a cosmic ballet of destruction that protects rather than harms. Scientists around the world are scrambling to comprehend what they are seeing. Dr. Emilio Vargas, speaking from the European Space Agency, is visibly shaken. We've never observed anything like this. The energy beams are not merely propulsion or weaponry. They are intelligent, adaptive. They calculate the mass, velocity, and trajectory of each rock in real time, neutralizing the threat without altering the orbit of other nearby objects. This is beyond human engineering. This is something else entirely. The planet is being defended by a presence whose comprehension of physics, energy, and scale we cannot begin to imagine. Across observatories in Tokyo, Rio de Janeiro, Cape Town, and Moscow, scientists are echoing the same sentiment: awe, fear, and an unshakable recognition that humanity is witnessing intervention at a scale we have never known. And the people, oh, the people are watching, mesmerized, unable to look away. From the beaches of California to the mountains of Nepal, from the deserts of Africa to the frozen plains of Siberia, citizens stare upward as massive rocks approach and are shattered mid-flight. Children point, mouths agape, as stones vaporize silently into glittering dust. Families clutch one another, not in fear, but in a shared, breathtaking realization. The sky is ablaze, not with destruction, but with salvation. Social media is flooded with live feeds, each frame more extraordinary than the last, as asteroids explode into clouds of radiant dust, their destruction precise, elegant, beautiful. The Leviathan's actions are silent, but undeniable, a display of force that leaves humanity both humbled and awestruck. And yet there is tension, because every fragment, every meteor, reminds us of the stakes. Earth is fragile, small, insignificant against the scale of space, and yet for the first time, we see that we are not entirely alone. The Leviathan, this incomprehensible, organic, and intelligent entity, has assumed the role of guardian, and in doing so, it demonstrates a level of awareness and calculation that makes the very notion of alien intervention tangible. Across the globe, governments monitor the sky in awestruck silence, canceling emergency protocols because, for the first time, they know no human action is required. Pilots report smooth skies, naval fleets note calm seas, and even satellites continue their orbits undisturbed, as though the Leviathan is orchestrating the safety of every level of human technology alongside the planet itself. And the visual spectacle is beyond description. Each asteroid disintegrates in radiant clouds that catch the light of auroras above, shimmering like distant fireworks in space, while the Leviathan's beams pulse rhythmically, harmonizing with the hum we have come to recognize as its resonance. Observers on Earth note the synchronicity with the auroras, the oscillations of the oceans, the winds that whisper through the world, all responding to the protective pulse of the alien presence. It is a reminder that nothing in our experience prepares us for this. A planet alive, defended by an entity beyond our comprehension, orchestrating a ballet of salvation in silence, precision, and beauty. And as I broadcast live, I must stress to you, listeners, that this is history being written in real time. Humanity has witnessed threats that would have devastated entire continents, and yet, not a single life has been harmed. Not a single city has been touched. The Leviathan, a being we once feared, now stands between us and annihilation. And in every corner of the world, the hum of understanding grows. The awe becomes shared. Citizens cheer, cry, and remain silent all at once, unable to process the magnitude of what is occurring, yet undeniably feeling it in their very bones. The sky is ablaze with light, not fire, not destruction, but salvation. So I urge you, wherever you are listening, to look up, and if you cannot, close your eyes and imagine it. Imagine Earth, encased in the shielding wave, and now witnessing each asteroid shattered with surgical precision. Feel the hum, the pulse that resonates across the planet. Understand that for the first time in history, humanity is experiencing direct intervention by a presence beyond our comprehension, one that acts with both intelligence and care. The Leviathan has assumed the role of protector, and as each asteroid is vaporized, as each fragment is scattered harmlessly into the void, we are reminded that we are part of a universe far larger, far stranger, and far more magnificent than we have ever dared imagine. And tonight, listeners, as I speak to you live, I cannot help but repeat it. The sky is ablaze, not with destruction, not with fire, but with salvation. Humanity watches, heartbeats synchronized with the hum, eyes fixed on the heavens, and we are witnessing a moment that will define our species for generations. We are alive, we are safe, and we are witnessing to the power of something beyond us, an alien presence, intelligent, protective, and incomprehensibly vast, demonstrating in real time that the universe is neither indifferent nor cruel, but capable of guardianship, precision, and awe-inspiring wonder. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live, and the drama unfolding across our planet has shifted from the cosmic to the intimately tangible. Despite the Leviathan's shielding wave, despite the extraordinary intervention that has vaporized massive asteroids in orbit, some smaller fragments have slipped through the edges of the protective field. These fragments, though relatively tiny compared to the colossal threats we feared, have entered our atmosphere in a blaze of fire and light. Across the world, from Tokyo to Buenos Aires, from Lagos to Los Angeles, citizens are witnessing streaks of fiery debris tearing across the sky like celestial comets, their glowing trails burning with an intensity that lights up clouds and city streets alike. And though the scale is smaller than the planetary threats we've seen, the consequences are immediate, visceral, and undeniable. In several urban centers, fragments have impacted directly, striking rooftops, shattering windows, overturning vehicles, and igniting small fires in city blocks. In Rio de Janeiro, reports indicate debris landing on the outskirts of the city, scattering cars and causing panic among bystanders. Firefighters respond rapidly, though even they move cautiously, aware that the fragments carry unknown energy and unusual heat patterns. In Tokyo, a fragment strikes a residential street, sending a shockwave that rattles buildings, yet miraculously causing no fatalities. Citizens describe the moment with words like blinding, terrifying, and beautiful all at once, capturing the paradox of destruction and cosmic wonder happening simultaneously. Even small fragments are leaving a visible mark, smoldering craters, scorched asphalt, and shattered glass that litter sidewalks like fallen stars. A reminder that the universe is vast, and our place within it remains perilously small. Scientists and emergency teams are monitoring the fragments in real time, analyzing the energy residue and composition of each piece. Early readings indicate unusual materials, glowing with faint iridescence, seemingly infused with energy unlike anything previously encountered. Dr. Lena Hartfield, speaking live from the European Space Agency, emphasizes that even these small fragments are far from ordinary meteors. The residues we detect suggest some form of stabilization or energy containment, almost as if the material itself is alive or responsive in ways we do not yet understand. Across monitoring stations worldwide, the unusual composition is causing recalibrations of detection instruments and simulations, as researchers struggle to predict how these fragments interact with the Earth's atmosphere and, by extension, with human life. And the human reaction is nothing short of extraordinary. On the streets, people pause mid-step, pointing to the sky as the fragments streak above, their fiery descent visible for miles. Children clutch their parents, eyes wide in awe and terror simultaneously. Social media is flooded with live footage, videos of fragments slamming into streets, videos of people narrowly avoiding impact, and videos of the sky itself lighting up in brilliant, fleeting displays that almost resemble fireworks. There is panic, yes, but also wonder. Even amid smashed glass and overturned vehicles, people are witnessing the Earth intersecting with the cosmos in ways they have never imagined. Emergency sirens wail. Firefighters and first responders move through impacted streets, and still the awe remains, a simultaneous recognition of danger and a profound, almost spiritual appreciation for the scale and beauty of what is occurring. The Leviathan's shield, though not perfect, is functioning as it was designed, deflecting the largest threats, preserving entire cities, and allowing these small fragments to test humanity without causing mass destruction. Scientists describe the event as a controlled warning, a demonstration of power tempered with restraint, as though the alien presence is teaching humanity the fragility of life and the care it is capable of providing. Even as emergency crews work, the fragments continue to descend, streaking across the sky in chaotic yet spectacular trails, burning in brilliant streaks of orange, white, and green. The energy pulses from these impacts resonate faintly with the hum that has accompanied the Leviathan's presence from the beginning, creating a planetary symphony of light, heat, and vibration. And yet, despite the localized destruction, despite the shock and panic in the streets, there is relief, a recognition that humanity has survived, that our planet remains intact, and that even in fragments, we are being given a glimpse of forces far beyond our comprehension. People pick through debris with awe, scientists gather samples of unusual energy residue, and the world collectively looks upward, aware that the sky above is alive with both danger and protection. And as I broadcast live, reporting from a city just touched by one of these smaller fragments, I cannot help but reflect on the fragile miracle of this moment. Even in fragments, I say, and I mean it fully, the universe reminds us how small we are and how lucky we remain. So wherever you are listening, pay attention to the skies tonight. Watch the streaks of fire, the glittering debris, and feel the resonance of the earth and its protector above. Witness the scale of cosmic forces made visible in fragments that fall from the heavens. Humanity is alive, standing on streets marked by fire and glass, observing a universe that is at once beautiful, terrifying, and profoundly protective. The shattered fragments are a reminder. Even the smallest threats can touch us, yet even the smallest intervention from beyond can preserve us. And in every glowing streak that lights the night, there is a story of survival, awe, and the enduring wonder of a planet watched over by something far greater than ourselves. This is Alex Mercer, coming to you live. And if you have been following these broadcasts, you already know the extraordinary events that have unfolded over the past weeks. Tonight, I speak to you not from the edge of panic or awe, but from a world that is beginning to breathe again. The Leviathan, the colossal entity whose arrival upended everything we thought we understood about the cosmos, now hovers silently in orbit, joined by its companion asteroid, their presence a calm counterpoint to the chaos they once heralded. The shielding wave remains active, pulsating faintly like a heartbeat over our planet, a constant reminder of the forces that have intervened in ways we could never have imagined. And for the first time in weeks, humanity is beginning to exhale. Across the globe, signs of recovery are emerging. The skies, once ablaze with auroras in impossible colors, now shift slowly toward familiar hues, greens, pinks, and soft golds, a palette of calm after the cosmic storm. Satellites detect that the geomagnetic field, once wildly erratic, is stabilizing, settling back into patterns that allow compasses, navigation systems, and satellites to function predictably once more. Winds no longer howl in unnatural patterns. Hurricanes have dissipated or returned to conventional paths. Ocean tides ripple gently instead of surging erratically. Even volcanic activity, once threatening to erupt with unpredictable force, has subsided, the magma chambers returning to a quiet, steady pulse. Across every continent, scientists are reporting that Earth itself is regaining equilibrium, its systems slowly synchronizing once again with the rhythms of life we know, even as we carry the memory of what occurred. And life, of course, is returning. Birds begin to sing again in the early hours of the morning, their calls tentative at first, then growing stronger, filling forests, cities, and plains with the familiar soundtrack of survival. Mammals move with purpose instead of hesitation. Insects resume their intricate dances across meadows and urban gardens alike. Even marine life, once disrupted by tides and magnetic anomalies, begins to align with familiar migratory patterns. Researchers document behavior that borders on reverent. Some describe animals as moving with the cautious curiosity of a species that has survived not by instinct alone, but under the unseen guidance of a force that intervened to protect them. Humanity, too, is adjusting. We walk the streets more cautiously at first, but with renewed awareness of our smallness, our fragility, and the fragility of the planet that has been home for millennia. And as we adjust, we reflect. Across the world, citizens gather to share stories of what they witnessed. The auroras that stretched like rivers of light across continents, the winds that danced to impossible rhythms, the oceans that surged and ebbed as though in conversation with forces beyond our comprehension. Survivors recount moments of fear, panic, and awe, juxtaposed against the realization that life endured. Children describe fiery fragments streaking across the night, barely missing city streets. Pilots recount navigating skies where instruments had lost their bearings, only to find safety once the shielding wave stabilized. Communities, once fragmented by distance and culture, now share a common memory that humanity, small and vulnerable, was given a second chance. And while no one fully understands why, the awe remains, tempered with gratitude and humility. Scientists continue their work, piecing together what we can of the Leviathan's intervention. The fragments of asteroids that slipped through its shield are being cataloged, analyzed, and studied for their unusual energy residues. Experts note that the material carries energy signatures unlike anything we have previously recorded, suggesting a level of complexity and design that points to intelligence and intention. Dr. Lena Hartfield explains, "These fragments are not ordinary meteors. They are imbued with energy, some kind of stabilization force, almost as if even the smallest pieces carry a signature of the Leviathan itself. It is a reminder that what we have experienced is not random, but deliberate. We were tested, observed, and protected all at once." Across laboratories worldwide, the hum of instruments, the glow of screens, and the excited chatter of scientists reflect the global realization that humanity has survived an encounter that should have been catastrophic, and that we did so not by our own hands, but by the intervention of something truly alien. Governments, too, are adjusting to a new reality. Military forces are demobilizing emergency protocols, air traffic resumes along conventional routes, and disaster response teams return to normal operations, though with caution and newfound respect for forces far beyond human comprehension. Policymakers meet in emergency councils, discussing how to incorporate this event into the collective understanding of risk, space exploration, and planetary defense. Philosophers, theologians, and thinkers of every discipline are weighing in, asking fundamental questions. What does it mean to survive not by our own ingenuity, but by the intervention of an intelligence from beyond our world? What responsibilities do we now hold, knowing that the universe contains entities capable of both observation and intervention on a planetary scale? Humanity is awakening to questions that will shape generations to come. And yet, amid the science and policy, there is the human response, the awe, the gratitude, the quiet reflection that cannot be measured in instruments or equations. Across city squares, families gather to watch the auroras fade, holding hands, looking up, and speaking in hushed tones about the weeks that passed. Across forests, hikers pause to hear the songs of birds returning to their normal rhythms. Across oceans, sailors speak of calm waters that feel almost sacred after the chaos. And across all of us, there is a recognition that the universe is not indifferent, that life, fragile and beautiful, can be preserved by forces beyond our understanding. And in that recognition, we find humility, and perhaps hope. Even as we speak, the Leviathan and its companion asteroid remain in orbit, silent, watchful, their presence a reminder of what has occurred and what may come. They do not descend. They do not intervene further, at least not visibly. Their work is done, their purpose fulfilled, or at least temporarily satisfied. Humanity watches, and in watching, learns. We have survived, not by our own ingenuity alone, but by the intervention of a presence that we cannot fully comprehend. And yet, even as awe fills our hearts, the questions remain. What comes next? Will they return? Do they observe us still, silently, as the hum continues to ripple faintly across the planet? And as the planet's systems stabilize, the skies, the oceans, the winds, the magnetic field, we are left with the quiet, profound understanding that the universe is alive, aware, and capable of acts that blend beauty, precision, and mercy in ways we cannot predict. So wherever you are listening, take a moment. Step outside if you can. Feel the air. Watch the sky. Listen to the hum that still vibrates faintly beneath the surface of the planet. Humanity has survived an encounter that should have overwhelmed us. Yet here we are, alive, conscious, reflective, and profoundly changed. We are living through the dawn of a new era, a chapter written not by our hands alone, but by the guidance and intervention of a presence from beyond the stars. The lessons are immense: humility, gratitude, wonder, and a recognition that survival is sometimes granted, not earned. And as we stand on this new threshold, as the auroras fade and the planet steadies, I can only say, from the bottom of my heart, that a new chapter has begun, whether we are ready for it or not. This is Alex Mercer, signing off, for now. What you have witnessed over these past hours, days, or perhaps weeks will be remembered as one of the most extraordinary chapters in human history. We have watched the impossible, felt the hum of the universe resonate through sky, land, and ocean, and seen a presence beyond our comprehension intervene to preserve life on this fragile planet. We have seen chaos transform into protection, fear transform into awe, and uncertainty transform into a fragile sense of understanding that the universe is far larger, stranger, and more magnificent than we have ever dared to imagine. As I look out across the night sky tonight, I see the faint shimmer of auroras fading into their familiar hues. The winds have calmed, the oceans have settled, and life is slowly returning to its natural rhythm. Cities buzz with cautious relief, forests are alive once more with song, and humanity stands, collectively aware of how small and vulnerable we truly are, and yet also how fortunate we have been. We have survived not by our own devices alone, but by forces that are beyond us, mysterious, intelligent, and, if I dare say, merciful. This broadcast has been more than a report. It has been a witness to history. We have looked directly into the face of the unknown and found not only danger, but guardianship, not only fear, but wonder, not only chaos, but beauty. And though the Leviathan and its companion remain in orbit, silent and inscrutable, we now know that humanity is not alone, that the universe holds powers capable of both devastation and salvation, and that our story is only just beginning. So wherever you are, whatever city or village you call home, take a moment tonight to look up at the stars. Feel the pulse of this planet beneath your feet, the calm of the skies above, and the reminder that life endures in ways that are both miraculous and fragile. Remember that awe is not only a feeling, it is a recognition of our place in the cosmos, and a call to continue forward with humility, courage, and curiosity. From all of us here, from every corner of the planet that has tuned in, and from the heart of this broadcast that has brought you the story of survival and wonder, I thank you for listening. Keep watching, keep learning, and above all, keep looking up. This is Alex Mercer, reminding you that the universe is vast, mysterious, and alive, and that humanity has survived to see another dawn. Good night, and stay vigilant, for the story of our place among the stars has only just begun.